What's up, my nerds? Long time no see. My biggest writing problem that I have consistently dealt with forever is actually finding the time to sit down and write. I mean, I think about writing all day. It consumes me. My characters poke around in my head and I have these fully fleshed out scene ideas, but I just can't seem to find the time at the end of the day to sit down and get all of the words out of my body. Life is chaos. There's always a list of things that need to be done, so when I finally find that moment to sit down and write, I'm constantly reminded of the things that I could be doing instead. So recently, I've started scheduling my days. Not only things that I have to do, but more specifically the things that I want to do. That way, when I'm hunkering down to write, I know that I allotted this specific time for this specific task. And I can write my heart out with no guilt of all of the other things that I have to do because they also have time allotted on my schedule. We spend so much time giving ourselves to other people that we forget how important it is to give a small piece of ourselves back to ourselves. That's why it's my philosophy to make it a priority to find time every single day to write with reckless abandon. No rules, no word count, just write. I guarantee you won't regret it.
One thing I've struggled with during the last year has been burnout. I push myself so hard. I work super hard and do all the things I feel I'm supposed to do. The advice that I've seen posted on Facebook or from other authors I know, and things that work for other people don't necessarily work for everybody. So something I've had to really work with is learning my own path, my own things that I want to do that feel good to me. And that's been really hard to do, but you know, when you hit burnout, you kind of have to stop. So I've paused, I've brainstormed a little about what I feel will work best for me, and I'm gonna try it because that's really the one thing in my author career I haven't tried yet. The stuff that I want to do for myself.
One major writing problem that I have recently faced is depression and the outside forces that kind of cause that whole situation. And unfortunately, one of the things that helped me was time. And that's not always the best answer, but it is one of the things that did help me get out of that writing slump after having that challenge. But I think the most helpful thing was starting a new story. I started a new story. I got that spark back. I remember why I loved writing and why I wanted to do this, and that really helped me get back into writing. So finding your spark and remembering why you got into writing really helped me shake off this writing problem that I was having.
Hi there, my name's Emily, the author of In a Mirror, and the thing that I've had the most trouble with at the moment, my biggest problem, is time management and future planning, especially with the fact that I've got this book coming out on the 12th of November and working on the sequel, and I'm working on a different series. I'm actually working on 4 different series, and I want to get these 14 book projects in my mind on the go, like even if it's just brainstorming it. I have so much to do, so I really had to work on getting a bullet journal, getting a 90-day plan together, and looking long term at things, because I'm so tunnel vision sometimes and I just want to work on one thing, one little insignificant thing, and I'll work so hard on it and get all the details ready. But I really need to look at that big picture and work out all the steps I need to get my writing career under control. So I've been timing my days, how long each task is taking me, and it's been eye-opening because I really overshot the mark of what I thought I could do, and I've actually taken a few things off my plate, and that has been the biggest unburdening of them all.
This is actually super easy for me to talk about because I just started university again. I took 2 years off, came back into it, transferred to a new school, had to move into a new place off campus, and it's been a lot. And my writing has had to be pushed to the side a little bit, but the easiest way to work around it is just to make sure that I do schedule in a really specific time to work on my writing. So every single night I tell myself even just 10 minutes, and I set a timer and I write, and if I want to keep writing after the timer goes off, then I keep writing, but if I can't, then I leave it. And I am also taking a creative writing class, and we have to do short stories for it, so that's been helping to keep me working on my writing.
One problem I deal with on a pretty regular basis is burning out because I've pushed myself too hard. I like the high of being able to do big word count days and making progress on the stories I'm excited about, but inevitably I get tired of everything and end up writing nothing. So recently I have been letting myself just do the 444 words a day that For the Words uses in order to maintain your writing streak on there, because it's a nice maintainable, not too stressful number for me. For NaNoWriMo, I'm trying to write more, but I've made that the exception instead of the rule. And so far it has been working for over 100 days, and it's feeling pretty good.
My current work in progress has an enemies to lovers romance in it, which I'm really enjoying writing, but I, for the longest time, could not figure out why my main character initially hates her love interest. It's kind of an important thing to figure out in an enemies to lovers romance. It has to be something that makes sense why they hate each other, but is also forgivable, and all I knew was that it was something that happened in their childhood and I was going to include it in a flashback. So the first thing I did is I just didn't worry about it. I started writing the book anyway and got to know my characters better and figured out their personalities and their motivations and the character development arc that I was taking them on. And once I was about halfway through the book and I felt like I really had a good handle on who these characters were and what their fears and their motivations were, I sat down and I made some lists. First, I made a list of my main character's fears and insecurities. What are those buttons that the love interest might have pushed that made her just snap and say, you know what, I hate this person forever? Next, I made a list of the love interest's blind spots and weaknesses. Basically, I was thinking about reasons he might have done or said something to hurt the main character. And then finally, I made a list of the love interest's fears and insecurities as well, because I knew that once he hurt the main character's feelings in some way, I wanted her to be able to strike back at him and do something to hurt him as well. And I've started to come up with an idea. I have not written the flashback scene for it, but I'm excited and I think it's really going to fit with the story and the progression of their romance and just them as characters as well.
This last year, I struggled with a specific story idea. I was writing a book called Sea Witch, and it just wasn't happening for me. I just could not get the character to listen to me or do what I wanted. So how I get over that is I eventually just decided, okay, I need to move on to a new story. So I moved on to a novella that I wrote called Demon's Game, and that character just spoke to me. She just screamed at me, and she just helped me get over my little writing slump.